All right, so it's been a while since I've tried to practicing some coding questions. So I'm gonna try mock coding assessment from Leetcode here. Let's start um, this one. All right, so we have 59 minutes for two questions. The first question is given an integer x, return true if x is a palindrome integer. An integer is a palindrome, it reads the same backward and forward. For example, 1 to 1 is a palindrome, while 1 to 3 is not. So 1 to 1, true, 1 to 1 reads as 1 to 1, yeah, that's fine. Minus 1 to 1 is false because from left right it reads minus 121. From right left it reads 1 to 1 minus. So this is interesting. Therefore, it is not a palindrome. Does that mean any negative number will not be a palindrome? And 10 reads 0, 1 from right to left. Therefore, it is not a palindrome. Okay, and follow-up is could you solve it without converting the integer to a string? So obviously one of the things that I gather from here is if x is less than 0, you just return false. And then obviously if there are multiple zeros like that, then I would also think that if x percentile 10 is 0, that means it is divisible by 10. There are zeros at the end. Then also it just can't be a palindrome because no number starts from 0. But if it ends with 0, then you don't have a palindrome. Right, so these are the two cases. Now you're left with positive numbers, or if x equals to 0, we can return true. Fine. So now we're left with positive numbers that are not multiples of 10. Okay. An example of that is 121. So now what we do is we just get the, now we are confident, right? If the, because a number won't start with a 0, it is positive. One issue could be that the reverse of the number, it's possible that it cannot be cannot even be saved. Uh, so I'll use double then for just for any overflow issues. So and this is what we'll do. We'll reverse it and we'll see if the reversed is equal to y. And how do you do reverse? So start with 0, y equals to y into 10 plus x by 10, right? So you get the last digit. And is it x percent? Should be x percentile 10, right? and we are sure it won't be 0. And so we know x equals to x by 10. And yeah, so this is how we get the reverse, and then we will return y. Let's run code and see what happens. Compilation error, spelling mistake is allowed. What's the issue now? Lossy conversion. Okay, we are gonna pass it as a double. Okay, so for 121, it is returning false. Why? Let's do. Okay, let's see now. Okay, it returned infinity while x is not equals to 0. Oh, I think double is like the. Should it be long? Okay, now let's try it again. Fine, this works, this will work, this we know won't work. So all the three will work. There might be some other edge cases. True, false, false. Submit and see if there are other edge cases that we are failing. Suspect there might be. 0 is a palindrome. Okay, for 0, it expected true. But should I return true? What? Like what? Why? Maybe because 0 percentile 10 is also 0. Okay, this is interesting. So first you have to consider the case of x equals to 0, and only then you consider other multiples of 10. So all multiples of 10 except 0 is not a palindrome. Alright, so we move on to the next problem. Given two non-negative integers, num1 and num2, represented as a string, return the sum of num1 and num2 as a string. We must solve the problem without any built-in library for handling large integers such as big integer. You must also not convert the inputs to integer directly. Alright, so you have to keep them as string and you have to add them as strings only. Okay, so obviously we have to start from the end of both the strings, and we have to return them as a string as well. Seems pretty straightforward to me. I don't know what's the big deal here. Number and M2 consider point zeros. Number and M2 don't have any leading zeros except for the 0 itself. Yeah. So I mean I could reverse them. One option is I reverse them and then, or I just start from the end. The thing is, tell me what the thing is. It's easy to append things rather than inserting at a different position, right? So I'm just gonna reverse the strings. sort this as, and then what do? I do this. Actually, I should choose like a carrier or something. And then uh, then so at this point I know the length of the array, so we start L as 0, R equals to array dot length minus 1, while L is less than R. You swap in the array L and R, right? So character array in x in y. Uh, okay, and now so what you do is num1 equals to reverse num1 and num2 equals to reverse num2, and then let's ignore this. If there is any digit to take, you take, and there is always a carry. Right, and so and then you also want to add like a string builder. Okay, so first we do sum. We just do sum equals to carry, right? If I1 is less than num1 dot length, then sum plus equals to num1 dot char at I1 minus 0. So let's do this and do the same for I2, num2 and to I2, right? So you get the sum, so C plus n percent. Now this is sum. Obviously, if just to carry first. So how much will be the carry divided by 10, and sum equals to some percentile 10. Okay, maybe yeah, some percentile 10 or some percentile. Yeah. So and now what you want to do is you want to append, and of course you know that you want to load it into a char, but some that is what you want to append. You are pretty sure that it can fit into a character, right? So this is what you do, and now you want to do. I think just return. You don't need to. Anyway, it will get printed. So, all right, let's see what happens. Compilation is something that I hate. Uh, how to get better at it? Okay, so there is no such thing as a reverse. Maybe I thought it supports, but we anyways wrote our own, right? Now there is one thing though here, which is there cannot be leading zeros, right? So what we did was 1 2 1 1 1 2 3. We reversed both, so 1 1 and 3 2 1. So we had 3 plus 1 4, 2 plus 1 3, and 1. So and we get run 1 3. But that's pretty straightforward, don't you think? Yeah. So let's consider this case of 9 and 11. So 11 and 9, right? Okay, 11 and 19 then. 1 plus 1. Sorry. So 91 and 11. 91 and 11 will be 1 plus 1, 10 plus 1, 11. It should be 1 1 2. So we see what do we do? We do 1 plus 1 2, 9 plus 1 10. Oh, that is quite interesting because when you do 10 like that, you will do 0 and you'll do carry, which will just add that here. Interesting. So there is definitely one bit missing, which is after you are done, if c is not equal to 0, so why don't you just add it here, or c not equal to 0, right? So you can keep doing it. That's fair. Let's run. Missing a return statement, it thinks. Okay. Time limit exceeded. I think while reversing, we missed traveling. Now memory limit exceeded. Interesting. Um, Okay, let's do this. Let's get rid of this while loop just to see if there is some mistake there. Because yeah, definitely we not. Oh, yeah, I just want to confirm. Okay, so it's good. All right. Okay, now what happened? So it says 134, but it shows in a very weird way. Okay, let's run the other test case to see if the answer is correct, and then we'll figure out the representation. 533 is right and 0 is right. But the way it's being represented is definitely not right. I think it's because so when you get the sum, when you're appending the sum, you should appending it with the like add this char to it. Right? You want to add it as a character. What happened here? Okay, let me remove this. I think it should be 0 plus some, but okay. Hey, what's the issue here? I don't get it. So maybe the carry is one. Other thing is fine. All. So we wanted 134. What the hell am I getting here? Okay, let me think again. So it was an integer, and the sum is an integer now, carry is integer, and now to the string I want to add the yeah. I think the representing it is that char was the problem. I think if you just try this maybe lossy conversion from int to char. Yeah, make this char as well. I don't know what it means here. So I'm happy to do the lossy conversion is what I mean. Okay, so this works. All right, let's finish this session. So I think it's both were easy questions. I think we took a slightly longer than needed time, but okay. Just let it run and just start another one. Let's do another one. Oh, it's Okay, this is our score. Beat just 56% of the users. Not that great, I guess. Around average. Let's check. Sort of stuck here. Okay. Check the two questions if they open up. Right, things are a bit slow. Last we attempted like a month back. No, it was only attempted, not even completed, it seems. Alright, still waiting for it to load. Okay, so while I think we can start another one. Let's try this one now. Random question set from a real company. Up to 3 questions, 1.5 hours. Okay, we just got 2 questions though. Probably they're medium. Start with the first one. Big question. You're given a string sentence that consists of words separated by spaces. Okay. Each word consists of lowercase and uppercase letters only. We would like to convert the sentence to Goat Latin, a made-up language similar to Pig Latin, as if I know what Pig Latin is. The rules of Goat Latin are as follows. If a word begins with vowel, append ma to the end of the word. For example, apple becomes applema. If a word begins with a consonant that is not a vowel, remove the first letter and append it to the end, then add ma. Remove the first letter, so G is removed from here, add it to the end, OATG, and then ma. Okay. Add one letter A to the end of each word per its word index in a sentence starting with 1. Now this is something. Add one letter A to the end of each word per its word index in the sentence starting with 1. For example, the word gets A added to the end. The first word gets A added to the end. The second word gets A added to the end, and so on. Okay, so for every word you want to add A, and you want to add A because based on the index of the first word you add just 1A, for second word you add 2A. Let's look at an example. I speak Goat Latin. I starting with the vowel, so it becomes IMA, and then you also add A. Speak, so you remove S, become peak, and then you remove S, and then you add S here, and then you add MA, and because the second letter is 2 A's. Alright, quite clear. And we have to write this, convert the sentence to a string. So the task is then to divide each string into words, right? And then modify each word, right? So you want to know when a word starts and when a word ends. So that's definitely first thing. And it says that it only consists of words, lowercase letters, uppercase letters, and spaces. That's all it contains. So I forget the split functionality, but okay, I think if you get string array words equals to sentence dot split based on a space, is that correct representation? And the way to check would be I guess just return first one. So I just return words. Let's see if this works. Well, basically I want to see if the string split works correctly. So I'm expecting it to print just I. Yeah, okay. So I think let's assume this works. So now we have each word. So for each word in words, so we need our string builder, and we will be appending the modified words to this, right? So for each word, so word builder equals to, I think, yeah, because you need to insert bunch. Come on, man. It's on. Okay. So based on this count, that many A's will get added. So that's fine. Uh, I guess this is vowel. Obviously, I can write my own, but I suspect that there might be something that exists. And let's check. So if there is something that exists, it would be character dot is vowel uh, word dot char at 0. If this is the case, then what exactly are we doing? Nothing. We just add this word to service. Okay, so after this, both you want to append A, and then after this, you want to append like just A, right? And then you want to return. Okay, let's run code. Obviously, we don't know that is vowel thing. Yeah, so this was. Let's quickly check if there is such a thing. Java docs. Hmm. There is digit, but there is no is vowel. Is alphabetic is there. Alright, it's not there. So when we write our own. What about like a uppercase character? Yeah, I've not seen what happens to the uppercase one, but we'll see. So is vowel. Okay. Okay. Unreachable statement. Which statement is unreachable? Line number 6 itself is unreachable. Okay. Then we shouldn't do that. Alright, so for each word, you also want to at the end another damn space. Okay, Amma, Pixma, Utkumama. I think number of A's are decreasing, so you are not increasing the index. Uh, right, this seems about right. For example, test cases. So basically, you're looking for another one. Hetma, Yukma, and the last, let's see. OGDM and bunch of A's. Okay, in the last one, you don't want to add a space. Ah, I equals to 0, I is less than start length, I plus plus, and word equals to words of index. And then this I needs to change to something else. Let's call it J. Call this J is less than equal to I J plus plus. Right. Then I don't need this. Zero to 0, 1. So all that is fine. I don't need this. Now only thing is about the space. If I is not equal to word dot length minus 1, if it's not the last guy, then you want to add the damn space. Okay, let's submit and see if we made any mistakes. Alright, this works. Must have been an easy one. So the next one, given two integer strings, the numerator and denominator of a fraction, return the fraction in string format. If the fractional part is repeating, enclose the repeating part in parentheses. If I don't know why it's giving so many maths problems today. If multiple answers are possible, return any of them. It is guaranteed that the length of answer string is less than 10 raised to the power 4 for all given inputs. Numerator equals to 1, denominator equals to 2, output is 0.5. Numerator equals to 2, denominator equals to 1, output is 2. So it's a bit confusing to me. What is to be returned exactly? In case of 10 and 4, do we return 0.5, 0.5? What exactly do we return? So in this case, it's returning 2. Given two integers, numerator and denominator of a string, return the fraction in string format. The fractional part is basically just return the division of the two, right? So return this fraction is format. Okay, fine. So now the thing is, how do you divide? Hmm. Okay, let's see how to do division. How to do long division. So in case of 1 divided by 2, what we did was we took this entire 1, we tried to divide it by 2, and we know clearly that 1 is less than 2. So, oh, does it have negative numbers also? At least don't give me that. It has negative as well. Fine. Might have to handle negative separately, but I'm ignoring negative for now, just considering both numerator and denominator to be positive. So 1 divided by 2 is something like, I don't know how to divide 1 by 2. So, or I know, but basically it's less. So when it's less, you go 0 point, and then you got 10 here, and then you become 5. And then you go, yeah, I mean, it's a fair one to solve. 2 divided by 1. Okay, so you do integer division only. You basically check whether you can divide or not. In this case, you can, and then you can get when your exact. Basically, you have to stop when either there is a repetition or there is a or you get 0, right? The percentile is 0. Right, this one is gonna be good one to solve. Numerator equals to 4, denominator equals to 333. Let's try to solve here itself. So we are solving for 4 divided by 333. Now, one thing is clear that 4 is less than 333. So you do 0 point, and then it becomes, at this point, it becomes 40. And you can see 40 also has an 333, so you have to make add another 0, and now it becomes 400. And 400 divided by 333, you know that you'll add some 1, and then dividend equals to 400. Sorry, so dividend equals to 400, sort of 400 percentile 333, right? Yeah, which is equals to 400 minus 333, which is equals to what, 67. And now you change your divisor to, divisor never changes. Okay, so now you are at this, and now you are solving for 67 divided by 333. And you know that a decimal has already been created. If a decimal is already being created, then you have the luxury to add a 0 to it. Okay, and so now you do 2, and now you divide, it becomes 670 minus 33 into 2, which is 666, which is equals to 4. So 4, and you know you can add another 0 to it if the decimal already exists. So 4 divided by 40 divided by 333. And what you have to do is you have to remember if the problem that you're solving has already been solved. For example, 40 divided by 333, you were there at some point, right? So you were at, you started with 4 divided by 333, which became 40 divided by 333, which became, yeah, so you became, right? So 40 divided by 333, you know exactly when this happened. So perhaps you maintain some map or something where the if the where for the every dividend, this was the starting point. So when dividend was, not that impressive. You maintain that only when a decimal has been created, right? Only after the decimal point, because before that it does not matter. So, mhm. So I'm getting what you're saying. So basically, for 40 is when you added zero point 0.0. So this starting zero is the position, is the index where you had divisor as 40, and then when you are dealing with this one, at that case your divisor was 670, right? Exactly. And then when you're dealing with this two, that's when your dividend is, sorry, at this one, your dividend is 400. When you're at this one, you're dealing with 400, correct? And when this is two, you're dealing with 670. In response to 670, you got two. Yeah. So you need a hash map, which will maintain integer to index, right? A dividend to index rather, and you mean to maintain few more things so it already exists. Okay, okay, I think I'm getting somewhere, but then all of this might just fail for negative. I'm not even considering negative. Let's start few things. One is Boolean. Uh, Added decimal and start with false. How do you go back to that position and add a bracket though? That's another interesting bit. Like, do you maintain this information in a stack or a queue, or like what do you exactly do? That's also fair. Like, okay, so for example, I go this zero point 0.0 whatever. I go this route of 0.0 and then 1 and then 2, but then where do I remember the index? I guess I will shift. That's fine. I have to find one string builder is in insert at string builder. At this offset, you are inserting this string, or this offset, you can insert this character. Fair enough. So while dividend is not equal to 0. Okay, so one thing is clear, which is if numerator equals to 0, we just return 0. Otherwise, while numerator is not equals to 0, So there are two options. Either if your numerator, if yeah, this less than thing is I'm not too sure of in terms of. So as to numerator divided by divisor by denominator. If numerator by denominator is zero, that means numerator is less than then okay, then you want to basically add a zero to your numerator, right? So there are two cases here. One is if uh, added decimal or not. If decimal has been added, then it's simple. Then you just do uh, then you just add this zero. Else there are two things. One is if okay, now I don't know string builder, does it have length or size? I think it's length only. No size. Let's check string builder size. I hope I get some Java docs. Yeah, I mean this is not allowed, I guess, but I don't mind looking for basic methods. Yeah, okay, length is the correct one. So soon it's length. If string builder's length is zero, that means then you do dot append 0 point, right? Else you just append just a dot and you mark and now your numerator equals to numerator times 10, and this is the numerator that you will always be interested in, I guess. No, so this has to go inside, no? Okay, and there is a has to you have to create contain like a hash map, integer, and map equals to hash map. Okay. Now, yeah, I'll figure out the recursive bit, but Whenever the numerator is not equal to denominator or less than, then you do this. Now your numerator is I guess this also has to be like a while thing. So while numerator is less than denominator, so for example 4 becomes 40 and you are 0 point. So let's take an example of 4 by 10. So you got 0 point and it becomes 40, so 0.4. Right, and now what? So now we know that either the numerator is okay. So what about 4 by 40? This become 40 by 40. Now numerator. Okay, so now sb dot append. Yeah, you can even append integer, right? So who cares? So sb dot append quotient equals to divided by numerator by this definition is a hard man. The denominator. So sb dot append q, and now you want the numerator to be equals to even before decimal or after decimal. Like when do you multiply by 10? So let's look at 400 divided by 4. So 4 times 100. Okay, so let's say it's a 403. 403 divided by 4 is 100. So you get 100. Now you get 3. Okay, it's only if decimal is there. Okay, numerator equals to numerator minus denominator times q. If added decimal, then numerator equals to numerator times 10. And now what happens is it does not work. So I guess that's 1 by 2 works, but let's see. SB dot length equals to 0. Cannot find symbol SB. Wherever we have used SB, let's change everywhere to SB. 56 minutes remaining. Result dot append. Somewhere it's result, somewhere it's SB. Not good. Okay. So 0.5 works. Let's also take 2 and 1 if that is working. Alright, that's also great. Let's take 403 divided by 4. 100.75, even that is correct. So now the only thing that's left is sort of the recursive thing. But like, what about 22 by 7 and those sort of things? Hmm. Okay, basic division is fine. Need to maintain a map. Um, Run. Yeah, fine. Okay, just trying to make it work somehow. Again, it says ambiguous at line number 16. As we don't insert int comma object and int comma char are both matching, even though I explicitly call it just a char. I mean, what do you want me to do? It says int object this and int char are both matching. Tell me what to do to not make it match. I explicitly call it a char, and both are returning string builders, right? Ridiculous. Maybe make it that also int, okay. So that maybe if there is some issues with that, that will get cleared as well. Does that help you at all? Okay, now it says cannot find something. Finally, okay. So run example test case. I'm really interested in seeing this 0.01 does it work or not. And it does work. Okay. Some more negative. What happens to 22 by 7? I'm curious. Does it just die or what? 3.142. Does it repeat like that? 142857. 142857, 14286. Interesting. I don't know what's the expected answer for this. But my worry is about the negative number. So what happens with just minus 20 and 5? Okay. Okay, that is working, but what about this? Does it say 4? If it says 4, I'll be happy. It does say 4. I can submit, but I'm pretty sure that it will give. Okay. So minus 50 and 8 is a problem. With minus 50 and 8, it says minus. Okay, but that is an easy one, I think. Minus 50 and 8. So look, it's like just figure out the sign, right? And then let's just solve. Make it double. Figure out the sign. What is the maximum value it can take? Okay, yes, this, right? So uh, let's do this. Convert it to double, and double. Now figure out the sign. So if it's negative, the only thing that you have to do is negative equals to uh, oh man. So we got the is negative thing, and instead of, and now we just got okay, and then finally when you go till here, well, you can just insert the sign to begin with, right?